Hello, everybody. Welcome to One United. My name is Paritosh Joshi, and I'm here along with Wally Siddiqui talking about Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Antonio Conte, and the UCL game against Atlanta. First of all, Wally, we have missed two games. The game after
As
the
always.
aftermath of Liverpool, and we've also missed the pre-game for Tottenham, and now we're coming right on the back of a 3-0 victory. We didn't acknowledge the 5-0 defeat itself. Most of United fans went into hiding, and that was the way to go for most people. Uh, how are you feeling right now? Because you were quite rigid in your opinion that now is the time he has to be sacked, and he hasn't been sacked. Now it's looking like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to stay the season, especially with Antonio Conte going to uh, uh, um, Tottenham Hotspurs because Nuno has been sacked. So how are you feeling right now?
Um, Not at all fine because I thought that it was the moment that we should have finally signed an elite manager, and by elite manager I meant an Antonio Conte or a Zinedine Zidane. And even if it was giving them a contract for a year or 18 months, I think that would have done the trick because we have Ronaldo for 2 years, and Edison Cavani will be leaving next year. Donny Van de Beek is on the verge of leaving as well. So it's better to utilize this squad under a manager who knows how to handle such stars and who knows how to get the victories, who knows how to lift trophies. That is what we need. But since वो जा चुका है Tottenham में, so there is no point. And I think you have to say, although their manager did get player of the manager of the month last in September, but
September, yeah.
I think they've capitalized because they sensed it that they said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has 3 games to save his job, and seeing that they have Atlanta away and Manchester City next, I think he had this indication that if things go south for United, it's better
Mhm.
that we go for him right now. Otherwise, they might approach him because Conte was pretty much interested. Although we might not be interested at him, but Conte was pretty much interested to join United, and this is
Mhm.
what bothers me. Look, even I know Conte was not my first choice. I still want Eric Ten Hag. The reason why I want Ten Hag is because first and foremost, he respects the club culture. He knows how to develop youth. He's if you look at the way that he plays, he makes his boys play football. It's actually stuff of beauty. Something quite similar to Pep Guardiola's football. He was the assistant manager of Pep Guardiola under Bayern Munich, so he has all the elements of being a proper manager for United. But since we had to wait for him a season, and since like it's still early doors in the season, and we still haven't performed up to the mark, I think Conte was the right man. I think he could have done something. But अब वो जा चुका है, and क्या ही कहे. So you just have to live with it, and let's just see what happens. I hope we get the win tomorrow.
Okay.
How do
Let's
you
see.
feel? You tell me.
After after Liverpool or after
Like
tomorrow?
after
After
getting to
UCL,
know,
sorry.
हाँ सबके बारे में बताओ. पहले लिवरपूल बताया, उसके बाद after getting to know that Conte is मतलब basically Solskjaer is here for the season. बस.
Mm, I was of the opinion that he should get his time around the squad that he has built for 3 years, and I'm always of the opinion of giving the manager time. I'm not someone who will turn on the manager easily, and uh, although all the context given, and I'm someone who backs the manager heavily, but after the Liverpool defeat, it was looking like he's set to go, and I would have accepted because he got his chance, and that kind of performance cannot be excused. But he is staying now, and the game against Tottenham was different. Uh, Players were pushing, and the formation worked because the players were organized. They were not looking haywire. Although there are still complaints, why was Eric Bailly not played? Why is Van de Beek not played? This is a system where that can be the case. Atlanta is an away game. Atlanta would try to come at United, so this formation could again be utilized in the UCL game, which we'll talk about in a few in a while. So yeah, for me right now, although I'll enjoy if Ole is able to turn it around, I'm still not quite convinced because of if the manner in which we lost to Liverpool was astonishing, especially defensively. Attacking wise, we didn't have many chances, although there were a few here and there. Ronaldo goal could have stood, could have, although it was disallowed. Still, conceding five in the fashion that we did against Liverpool at home is uh, is almost like a letter to be signed for for your firing. Ole is able to survive that. Ole has been able to survive many things like this. So we'll wait and see. I'm still uncertain. He has to really up the game. Every player has to come forward for most United fans to actually start believing again, because we were during the start of the season we said that this team needs to win something and be competitive in the league for almost till April or late April. So we'll have to see how things go. This coming month is going to be very crucial for United. The thing with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is that now that Conte is not an option, there are very few options that remain on the table. If everything goes south, will Zinedine Zidane step in? Will Manchester United and Glazers go for him? Is still a big question.
Well, what bothers me and what annoys me is that our board did not have a contingency plan. If you look at the way that we started the season, there were hiccups here and there. Although we might have won a few games, like at the 90th minute, or saving a penalty, or uh, something of that sort. But there were always glimpses that we struggled against teams, and there was never a contingency plan. And you know the press conferences before after the Liverpool game was only about the Liverpool game. Like it's as if that was the only result which was actually poor this season. But we've also lost 4-2 to Leicester City. We've also lost to Aston Villa at home. We've crashed out of West Ham in the League Cup, and we've drawn to Southampton. So there've been plenty other results. And after we lost to Leicester City, there was a statement like from the board. It wasn't from the board. Basically, the journalists reported it that they have the complete backing of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And then finally, when Liverpool did something which we expected them to do against us, they panicked. They did not have a contingency plan. Basically, goes to show that these people are not interested in football at all. Because the day that we got thumped 5-0, on that day itself, or day following the defeat, these guys were in Dubai bidding for an IPL team. So just goes to show they have their priorities set. They do not know what's
No, I
going on
don't
in the
think.
club.
I don't think that that's that. It was. I think it's more of the case they had the faith in the manager, and they were not micromanaging every game.
But
They were trying to give him
वही तो
this
सीन है
chance.
यार. Even
वही
if
तो
you
सीन
if you
नहीं है
even
ना.
if you
They
like
have backed him for 2 seasons. They have backed him in this transfer window. They have given him a signing. They're like, let's see how things are. We were still competitive. और उनको ऊपर ऊपर से पता चल रहा है जैसे कि लीग में we were top of the league for a while. We were in contingents और मतलब ये लिवरपूल गेम drastically changed everything. So तब
but they were
अलार्म अलार्म्स बजने लगे क्योंकि तब तक यूसीएल में भी
लेकिन
हमारे परफॉर्मेंस डिसेंट हो गया था दोबारा से.
लेकिन
Although
warning signs of apart from Leeds and Tottenham now, I think we've had only two good performances in the Premier League. Champions League, yes, we might have done well, but we've just had two good performances
no,
in the Premier League,
Newcastle
I
game
would
was
say.
also nice. Newcastle
Fine, you
game
could
was also
take that also. So out of 10, we've had three good games, you could say. So the warning signs were there. You need to
we
actually
played
have a
well.
plan
No,
B.
man, you can't say that we were poor in the rest seven. We were decent against Southampton. I think we were decent against hmm, one other team. The game we drew. I think
बताओ कौन सी team? Which team?
that is the game we
It's
drew.
very hard
We
to
were
say. It's
West Ham game. We were decent. Where we eventually went out. We were not that bad. West Ham were on the under the
Everton
pump.
we drew.
Everton, but it's just that these teams aren't supposed to draw with us. We should be able to win these games. That is the thing. We were very poor
Okay,
against. We were very poor against Leicester in conceding. We were very poor against the Liverpool game. Why so much being associated to it? Because it's the manner in which we lost. We look completely out of sorts throughout the 90 minutes. There was the one chance in the beginning of the game where Bruno Fernandes could have given us the lead if he finished that move, and that could have changed everything. But that didn't happen, and Liverpool dominated us for 90 minutes, and
for me,
that went on to show that there is some serious crisis. They came back well against Tottenham. So there is resilience in this team. All the reports that he has lost the dressing room and stuff like that went out of the window with that performance. So I'd like to wait and see how things go from here on.
Well, for me, see, I was expecting the Liverpool result. To be very honest, I was expecting us to get comprehensively beaten. The problems that I had was with the fixtures that we should have won because we had the easier fixtures ahead at the beginning of the season, and we did
Yeah.
not end up racking up 3 points each, like game after game. That was a major problem, and I saw this coming. And now we might be thinking that we are back, but Tottenham did not have a shot on target in their last 3 Premier League games, and now we have
Yeah.
Manchester City coming up. I'm not confident for that either, and there have been occasions where we've been dominated. So this is a problem, and they seriously did not want Antonio Conte because that guy, he's not a yes man first and foremost, and he's going to challenge the board. He's somewhat like a Mourinho, you could say. So the board knows that they'll get exposed by Conte, and the world is already
it's
seeing
not
that
about
it's a
it's not about
shambles.
getting exposed. It's about the culture that will brew with the club, especially with the contracts that have they have lined up for someone like Paul Pogba. Although he is known to have a very good relationship with Paul Pogba, but now that Antonio Conte is going to Tottenham Hotspur, as it looks like, we'll have to wait and see. That was that about the Liverpool game. I think we should talk about the Tottenham performance a bit, and then we'll go on to the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or someone else argument. Let's talk about the Tottenham game. It was after a long while as a formation looked sustainable for United, for many fans. They looked organized. There were times where we were of the opinion that United don't have a style. United looked very, very weak, and Tottenham game was not that. Although Tottenham are not a very good side, but United were also not a very good side in the Liverpool game. It was almost similar to that game. That it was not that Liverpool were great; it's just that United offered nothing. And similar for Tottenham, it was not that United were great; it's just that Tottenham offered nothing.
Yeah, definitely. The change of formation 3-5-2 definitely worked in our favor, and see, we could have been flexible under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but he's been too stubborn with his tactics. 4-2-3-1 is something which he's adopted more often than not, and you could clearly see that we dominated that game from defense to midfield to attack. And I think if you have more people behind the ball, and as well as if you create width, which we did with Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, then you will cause team problems. But I do not know how sustainable this is under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because this is the first time that we haven't played 3-5-2 formation under him as many times as we want, like as many times. The reason for that is because of the players that we have. You have a Jadon Sancho, you have a Mason Greenwood. So certain players will get the axe, unfortunately, because if you play seven defensive players, if you add Scott McTominay and Fred as well, so obviously your attackers will get jeopardized. But at the same time, it can prove to be effective. So it was like it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen tomorrow. And I was actually feeling for Jadon Sancho. He's only had one game in which he's featured for 90 minutes, and um, even you could see, although Gary Neville is like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's best mate, but he criticized that you got to play for 75 million, and you're giving him the same treatment as Donny Van de Beek. And I think if we stick to this formation, I honestly don't feel that it's sustainable at the moment because first and foremost for this you need to have an excellent work rate because it's really difficult with that formation. Like you have to be on the back foot and then counter attack within an instance. And at the same time, your players that you have, there'll be plenty of unhappy faces over there. It can be effective for 2 or 3 games. I think for the City game it can work out, but for the long run, I think he'll be back with the 4-2-3-1. You're on mute, Paritosh.
This is effective for the away game. Away games are where you can use this formation where teams are trying to attack you more often. In the home games, you'll have to be more dominant and play possession-based football for a longer while in order to break teams, and that is where the real challenge lies because you can't play away games. There are half away games, half home games. So that is going to be essential. How when that a situation arises, how he's going to tackle the similar situations where someone like Manchester City come to Old Trafford. what they are going to do then. Someone like in the Champions League, if you are going to go forward, if teams like PSG, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich, if you face these teams, what will you do then? That's going to be essential. We were looking quite confident against the bigger teams, but now the problems are everywhere. We lacking tactically against the teams that have a lower block, and now we're lagging against the team that have a great, better quality than these lower block teams, who are well-run teams, well-drilled teams. So Atlanta game away is going to be essential because Atlanta were quite hapless in the uh, game at Old Trafford. They were missing some players. Their best player Demiral got injured in the first half. Then he was substituted. So it's going to be interesting the game against Atlanta. The Spurs game, Nuno is sacked. Do you think Conte will sign, or is there going to be something dramatic happening in the next few hours?
I wish this would have been the Ronaldo story. Uh, you remember him going to Manchester City and at the final moment, United swoop in, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore. Because, like I said, he's not the signing that, like, you could say that the players are saying that they do not, the ex players are saying that they don't want Antonio Conte because he would disrupt the culture and all that. But that isn't the main reason. What I feel is it's the board that who do not want this guy because he knows, like they know, like even though Mourinho was aggressive, Conte is on another level. Have you
Mm.
seen his speech when he left Juventus when he was
Yeah, yeah,
allegedly blamed for match fixing?
yeah,
So
yeah,
he's a loose cannon. If something doesn't go his way, he's gonna leave the club, and which is he's a man that I respect. If you look at that, because if you're seriously not getting the resources, he's not a yes man. He'll say, okay, f off. I'm going away from here. He won the league with Inter Milan, and then he left. So I think it could have, even for a short span of time, I think it could have worked. But since I think he's going to Tottenham, and it'll be interesting to see what he does with those soft lads over there because there are plenty of soft players over there, and they need to grow a sack if they want to play under him. But it's going to be interesting. They have another quality manager with them.
yeah. So it's going to be interesting how Tottenham Hotspurs, because they were not able to deal with Mourinho, how will they deal with Conte? It's going to be interesting. Someone like Deli Ali, how is he going to transition with a manager like
He's
Antonio
done.
Conte? So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I think they messed up with Pochettino, and now they are just trying to cover
They
themselves.
shouldn't
But
have
this
sacked
this was
Pochettino, man.
that was
They
the
shouldn't have
biggest
sacked
mistake.
him.
If a manager has stayed with you without the budget, without signing any new players, and he has managed to uh, take the team to the Champions League final, you are not sacking that manager, even if there are
And he
some
challenged
injuries.
for the league title as well.
Yeah, he
The
challenged.
year that Leicester won it, he
Yes,
challenged for the league title as well.
all they should have won that. Although
Yeah.
it was a miracle year, they should have won it. But yeah, that's the case, and that was it about the Spurs game. Let's talk about the big game that is coming forward. That's Atlanta. We'll be joining again before the Man City game, that is post Atlanta. Then we'll talk about that as well. अभी क्या लग रहा है Atlanta game, because with this formation they look structurally very good. So I think United can nick this game, but I'll talk to you about this. How do you feel about this particular game, Manchester United versus Atlanta away?
Well, I did hear that four of their senior players in defense are still missing the game, so that's another big blow. And but to be very honest, I think Atlanta is going to be even more lethal than they were at Old Trafford because they'll be playing at home. And in Europe, although we've just played one game against young boys, I think we might have our problems in the away fixtures, and it's going to be a tight game. But since their players are injured, and since at times they can play into our hands because we love to counter, I think we can nick it given the quality of players that we have. I'm not too sure if he's going to start Cavani tomorrow. I think we need someone quicker, either Rashford or Sancho along with
Rashford.
Ronaldo. That might work. And
I think I think Rashford with his work rate is going to start, and then
I think
Cavani
so.
can come in later for Ronaldo.
And midfield will be interesting as well because Pogba is fit. So will he start Fred and Pogba, or Fred and McTominay? That's going to be interesting. And not to forget that even Victor Lindelof is injured. So if you're playing three at the back, I think Luke Shaw might have to play left centre back, or Alex Telles might start at wing back. So it's going to be interesting if we
No,
play with
Eric
that
Bailly.
formation. Eric Bailly is done with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
No. Declan Lindelof is not injured. Lindelof is not
I think
injured.
he's injured. He was left out of the squad. That's what I read. You can take
No,
a
no.
look.
He was
I,
training. I
I
saw him training. I saw him
no, he was
training.
because he
I
was
saw
left
him
out of the
training.
squad. लेकिन
I saw him training.
ट्रेनिंग तो आज ये ट्रैवल कर रहे थे ना ट्रैवलिंग स्क्वाड में नहीं था ये कुछ या तो ट्रेनिंग में इसने इंजरी सस्टेन की माइट बी दैट
I
एक
don't
बार
think
चेक
so.
कर लो
Let's see. Because he
दैट्स
was
व्हाट आई हर्ड
because I think he was training Manchester United squad. Let me check because I saw him training in the training footage. Uh,
एनीवेज बट मतलब व्हाट आई वांट इज मतलब even if Lindelof is fit I want my left center back to be Luke Shaw and I want my wing back to be Alex Telles regardless and yeah, Harry Maguire, he hasn't had a good start to the season, and I don't know. I honestly do not know what I need to say about him. It's been absolutely poor, and even Roy Keane ripped into him. So he needs to, if he's a captain of the United, he needs to take some responsibility. And let's just see what happens. So, like, if I was a manager, I would play Luke Shaw at left centre back because I think that's where his best position is, along with Varane and Lindelof. But
he
since
sustained a
Lindelof is
knock in
injured,
training. Yeah,
yeah,
he
so he's
sustained
not
a
there.
knock in training. So yeah, he's going to miss out. Yeah. So
तो वही मुझे लग रहा है कि लेफ्ट सेंटर बैक शॉ और विंग बैक आपका टेलेंस होगा तो अगर उस फॉर्मेशन के साथ जाए इफ ही गोज विद 4-2-3-1 फॉर्मेशन आई एम नॉट टू कॉन्फिडेंट मैन अटलांटा माइट रूल इट ओवर
okay, so you feel that Atlanta will give us problems and United are not up to the task of facing a
if we
team
if
which
we
is
play
that
with a similar formation that we did against Spurs I think we'll win it but if we revert to
we
the
are going to play. We are
4-2-3-1
going
which
to
we
play.
despise
We're going to play the
then
similar formation. We're going to play the similar formation. I'm quite sure about that.
fingers crossed
Uh, I think we're going to play this. I think we're going to play the similar formation. So let's see how things go. I think that we might win it, although there are still question marks. But we'll have to see how things go. And for me, they're going to set up exactly as they did against Tottenham Hotspurs. Like Rashford can come in for Cavani, and later you can swap between Cavani and Ronaldo. That can be the case. Jadon Sancho can also come in later on if we are in a good position. We can change the formation then. But I think we're going to start the similar way we started against Tottenham Hotspur. And I think United can nick it. And I believe with the formation that we played in, we looked structurally very well. This is looking like a formation that can stick for United in the away game, especially. So I believe it's going to be 2-1 United.
could be 2-1
Okay,
I think. Hmm.
it could be 2-1 United or 2 What's your prediction? The score line?
I think it's going to be a draw I think it could be 2-all that's what I feel
2-all. 2-all for Atlanta and Manchester United at Atlanta. So let's see how things proceed. We'll talk to you guys really soon. Again, hopefully, just post Atlanta game. If something drastic happens, who knows? Wally might get his wish finally, but we'll have to wait and see.
it's not going to
Okay,
happen it's done now he's He's here
let's
for the
see.
season. I've accepted it. So there's no point wasting my energy
He's
anymore.
quite heartbroken at the moment. Give him time, guys. India lost
Yeah,
against Pakistan.
I'm
India
basically now just watching Manchester United for the sake of it, match by match. 3 पॉइंट मिलेंगे ठीक
because
है because
India are
we're not going
already
to
out
win
of the
anything.
World Cup. World Cup से बाहर हो
Yeah,
गया इंडिया
we're exactly
ऑलमोस्ट
जैसे अब इंडिया के मैचेस देखने पड़ रहे हैं कि कोई चांस नहीं है वैसे ही यूनाइटेड के मैचेस देखने पड़ेंगे क्योंकि कोई चांस नहीं है जीतने का. That's gonna happen.
तो काफी
Oh,
हार्ड
by the
ब्रोकन.
way, मेरी prediction मुझे लगता है कि ये होगा. Pochettino, they're desperately waiting for Pochettino. I think
हाँ,
Pochettino को
we have
sooner
to
or
hire
later
a
ये
new guy.
sack करेंगे. Sooner or
Yes.
later when they crash out of the round of 16 या कुछ उसको sack कर
हाँ,
देंगे और फिर Pochettino यहाँ आएगा और Zidane वहाँ जाएगा. मुझे ये लग रहा है.
अच्छा.
That's what I feel.
Okay. Zidane to manage Ronaldo as well as Messi in his
No, no,
first few years.
Ronaldo. Yeah. Ronaldo will go
हाँ,
to Zidane will go to PSG. That's what I feel.
yeah. So let's see. Let's see how things go. That's the prediction from Wali. If anybody is clipping it, you can clip it.
वो
So we'll have
तुम्हारी
to wait.
अपनी तो बताओ क्या है तुम्हारी prediction क्या
नहीं, I
जीतेंगे
think
ट्रेबल जीत रहे इस साल.
ट्रेवल, हाँ ट्रेवल में तो है ही नहीं हम.
एफए कप है
ट्रेवल
अभी
में
भी.
तो है तो अबे
एफए
लीग
कप
में
है.
है. पागल. लीग जीतेंगे ऐसे. डबल जीत सकते हैं। नहीं, दिस टीम
हाँ।
इज अ परफेक्ट टीम टू विन यू नॉकआउट गेम्स। कि जाओ एक दिन एक मैच जीत के दिखाओ तो बोलेंगे हाँ ठीक है।
Ronaldo is another reason why I like
क्लच
watching
प्लेयर।
United. Otherwise, if he was not here, मुझे पता नहीं क्या हो जाता कुछ सही में भाई।
नहीं नहीं, तो फिर हम तो हमें ऐसा भी नहीं खेल रहे होते। रोनाल्डो इज वन ऑफ द बिगर रीजंस व्हाई वी आर स्ट्रक, बिकॉज
But
ये सिस्टम
यार लेकिन
ग्रीनवुड,
I get that, but at the same time we were making the same
मतलब
complaints
ही
for.
इज अ, वही वाली बात हो गई है, पता है, ही इज द सिमिलर टू व्हाट, मतलब मोरिनियो पोजीशन या कॉन्टे पोजीशन, बट इन अ वेरी लेस लेवल, बिकॉज ही इज एक्चुअली लव्ड एंड ही वांट्स द क्लब टू, वो ही इज डियर टू द क्लब, और वो खुद भी ट्राई करता है थोड़ा बहुत, बट उसको कॉम्पनसेट करने के चक्कर में ग्रीनवुड के अगेंस्ट हाथ भी प्रॉब्लम होगा फर्दर एज द सीजन
लेकिन
गोस
यार
फॉरवर्ड।
पता है ये मुझे समझ नहीं आता क्योंकि इससे पहले जब हमारे पास मार्शियल था तो उसके साथ भी ये होता था, ही डजंट वर्क हार्ड। उससे पहले लुकाकू था तो उसका ये था कि पोस्ट हमारे सेंटर फॉरवर्ड्स के साथ हमेशा प्रॉब्लम आई है। दैट्स बिकॉज वी डोंट प्ले टू द स्ट्रेंथ। और
अब
अगर
वही है ना,
रोनाल्डो को
हर
तुम हाफ अ चांस भी दोगे, कल जो चांस मिला था, दो चांसेस, एक ऑफसाइड गोल, वो भी कोई सेंटर फॉरवर्ड नहीं मारता जो उसने मारा था, और एक वो जो कल उसने वॉली पे मारा
नहीं
था
यार
वो भी कोई नहीं
मार
मारता।
तो, नहीं नहीं मार तो
वॉली
सकता
वाला
है।
कौन मारता है? दैट टेक्निक
वॉली
वाज
वाला नहीं,
इम्पेकेबल मैन।
वॉली वाला नहीं बोल रहा
बट
हूँ
द
मैं।
ऑफसाइड गोल, डिड यू लुक एट द, मतलब
हाँ हाँ,
जबरदस्त
बहुत
था
बढ़िया
एकदम।
फिनिश था वो, बट लेकिन अगर कोई टॉप स्ट्राइकर फिनिश दैट, और लेवेंडोव्स्की
या
फिनिश नहीं करेगा
मतलब
उसको।
या ही
लेवेंडोव्स्की फिनिश नहीं
ऑब्वियसली,
करेगा,
मतलब वी आर
लुकाकू फिनिश नहीं
कंपेयरिंग
करेगा उसको।
लेवेंडोव्स्की रोनाल्डो, ऑब्वियसली दे
और क्या,
वर्ल्ड
तो
क्लास,
टॉप
मतलब
प्लेयर्स
द
है ना,
बेस्ट सेंटर फॉरवर्ड।
वही बोल रहा, ही इज अ टॉप प्लेयर, यू कांट कंपेयर एनीबॉडी लेसर टू रोनाल्डो, हु विल यू कंपेयर
तो
रोनाल्डो टू? ही इज
नहीं,
द
आई गेट
ग्रेटेस्ट गोल
इट।
स्कोरर टू
देखो
एवर लिव।
सी,
उसको इसी से कंपेयर करेंगे ना,
बेसिकली
क्या
हम
लगता है?
अपने प्लेयर्स को बार बार ब्लेम करते रहते हैं कि पॉगबा ये नहीं करता, फ्रेड बेकार है, मैकटोमिनी
नो
ऐसा
नो,
है, मैगवायर की
नॉट
मिस्टेक्स
एवरीबॉडी,
है।
इट्स नॉट
तो
दैट, अगर तू सेम पोजीशन, अगर अच्छा जो हम लास्ट ईयर फॉर्मेशन खेल रहे थे, ठीक है, ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर, अब हमारे पास राइट विंगर भी है, हम लोग ग्रीनवुड और कवानी को स्वैप करके खेलते हैं, बट कवानी बहुत कुछ और ऑफर करता है जो रोनाल्डो नहीं करता, इसलिए ज्यादा चांसेस बनते थे। अभी रैशफोर्ड भी धीमे धीमे वापस आ रहा है इनटू द फोल्ड, इट विल लुक वेरी डिफरेंट। अभी वरान के आने से दिस डिफेंस लुक्स वे बेटर देन व्हाट इट लुक विदाउट वरान, सो दैट इज
या
आल्सो अ बिग प्रॉब्लम, दैट्स आल्सो अ बिग प्रॉब्लम कि वरान को हर
एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल
मैच खेलना
डिफरेंस।
पड़ेगा। तो अभी लेट्स सी हाउ थिंग्स गो। अभी अटलांटा गेम भी काफी अच्छा रिप्रेजेंटेशन होगा, हाउ दे आर गोइंग टू प्ले अगेंस्ट टीम्स व्हेन यू आर इन देयर बैकयार्ड हु आर एक्चुअली ट्राइंग टू अटैक, सो
सी
लेट्स सी हाउ थिंग्स
जो पिछले पिछले मैच में जो था ना, स्ट्रक्चर्ड इसलिए लग रहा था और हमें अच्छा इसलिए लग रहा था बिकॉज जब ऐसे स्ट्रक्चर होते हैं, हाँ, हमने एक भी बार रोनाल्डो या किसी के बारे में नॉट वी डिडंट इवन कंप्लेन अबाउट स्कॉट मैकटोमिनी बिकॉज वंस यू हैव अ प्रोमिनेंट
Scott
सिस्टम ना।
McTominay was or Scott McTominay was
एग्जैक्ट
actually trying to play।
एग्जैक्टली,
दिक्कत
मतलब
वही
ही
है,
प्लेड रियली वेल, ही प्लेड
उसको
रियली
हर
वेल।
अबे वो हर मैच में भागता है बॉल से, he was
तो
actually trying
पॉइंट
to
यही
go
है
for
ना
the
भाई,
ball।
पारितोष, मेरा प्रॉब्लम यही तो है कि भाई इफ वी हैव अ सिस्टम, वी एक्चुअली कैन हाइड द डेफिशिएंसीज ऑफ सच प्लेयर्स इन विच आपको रिलाई ही नहीं करना पड़ेगा उन इंडिविजुअल, मतलब इन इंडिविजुअल्स पे पहले से ही आपका मसल मेमोरी में कि दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू डू नेक्स्ट। We do not have that. We had that in the last game, and this is what needs to
अब
be done
वो खेलना
consistently now.
कुछ और चाह रहा है ना, अब क्योंकि अगर ये फॉर्मेशन तू ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड पे खिलाएगा, फैंस बू कर देंगे, यू कांट प्ले दिस फुटबॉल एट ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड, बात ये है सारी, तुम्हें खेलना पड़ेगा उसी तरह जिस तरह यूनाइटेड खेलती है। अब तू चाह रहा है कि लिवरपूल चेल्सी की तरह खेलने लग जाए जैसे मोरिनियो के अंडर खेलेगी, एनफील्ड पागल हो जाएगा।
नहीं, इट्स
देयर इज
ऑल
अ
अबाउट
रीजन।
यार,
अबे
हम इट्स ऑल
बात ये
अबाउट,
नहीं, हम
चाहे
दूर
कुछ
से
भी,
बैठ के जब
नहीं, चाहे कुछ
वी आर
भी
नॉट,
सिस्टम हो लेकिन एक कंसिस्टेंट हो, एक ब्लूप्रिंट हो
अब
हमारा कि
हाँ,
दिस इज आवर
अब लेट्स
आइडेंटिटी,
सी,
दिस इज व्हाट
अभी
वी डू।
ये इसने ये ओले ने जो गूगली फेंका है, कैसे पकड़ते हैं लोग, क्योंकि बिकॉज एवरीबॉडी वाज गनिंग फॉर कॉन्टे, तो उन्होंने बोला, ले कॉन्टे की फॉर्मेशन लगा के कॉन्टे को ही मैं भेज दूंगा हॉट हॉट
एल
हॉट
सैकी
पर।
को, एल सैकी को, मतलब आई कुडंट बिलीव, मैंने जैसे ही 3-0 हुआ ना, मैंने फीलिंग आ गई थी कि वी जस्ट सैक्ड देयर मैनेजर। दिस गाय मैन, वी कैन नॉट बीट दिस गाय, दिमाग खराब
3
करके रख
साल
दिया इस
से
बंदे ने।
परेशान हो गया बेचारा, पहले
दिमाग
पॉजिटिव लगा रहा था।
दिमाग
वही
खराब
मैंने
करके रख दिया
बच्चा
भाई।
खराब कर दिया भाई। कैसे, हाउ ही डज
अब तो
इट एवरी
भाई, अब
टाइम।
इतना फाइनल लास्ट ईयर मुझे इतनी होप आ रही थी, मेरे लास्ट ईयर भी ऐसे था, लेकिन फिर यूरोपा लीग फाइनल में आया ना तो मैं खुश हो गया, चलो चलो जीतने वाले हैं, फिर हार गए। मैंने बोला यार ये, चलो यार देखते हैं।
लेट्स सी हाउ थिंग्स गो। क्रिसमस वाली प्रेडिक्शन तेरी सही नहीं होने वाली ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे, बट लेट्स सी।
स्टूपिड
वो तूने
ब्लडी बोर्ड
कैमरा नहीं,
उनके वजह से
कैमरा भी नहीं
होना
बोला था ना
वाला
तूने,
था।
कैमरा
ये
भी नहीं
कैमरा
बोला
पे
था,
नहीं
बोल
बोला
दिया,
था, but it was
बोल
but
दिया।
I was right. If this was some other club,
यू
my
वर नॉट
prediction would have
राइट,
been true.
हुआ नहीं ना। तो अब
If
वो
this
तो
was some
इफ
other
एंड बट तो हर चीज है। इफ और बट
terms
तो
and
ये है कि
conditions,
अगर इफ और बट अगर मुंबई इंडियंस बहुत बुरा नहीं हारी होती पहले, तो उसको रन उतने नेट रन रेट ऊपर पहुंच जाता, वो टॉप 4 पहुंच जाती, वो जीत जाती, हैट्रिक हो जाती।
बंदा
इफ एंड बट तो बहुत
बंदा
चीजें हो सकता है।
पिछले 3 साल में बंदा एवर्टन से 4-0 हारा है, 6-1 स्पर्स से हारा है, 5-0 लिवरपूल से हारा है, हर चीज सर्वाइव कर ली। ये बंदा अपोकलिप्स भी सर्वाइव कर लेगा। मतलब अनबिलीवेबल।
हाउ ही डज इट एवरी टाइम, नोबडी इज एबल टू कंसीव, कैसे कर ले रहा है।
और दूसरी बात, द मैच गोइंग फैंस, अबे भाई, डिड यू फॉरगेट दैट वी लॉस्ट द लास्ट गेम 5-0? दे फकिंग स्टार्ट सिंगिंग ऑल इज एट द व्हील। अबे थोड़ा डिसेंसी
हाँ,
रखो।
नहीं
What
दे
the-
वोंट। तो अबे तू भाई, यू आर नॉट इन द
They did
स्टेडियम
not
ना, दे
have a
ऑलवेज।
song for Alex Ferguson. इतने साल में फर्ग्यूसन के लिए कोई गाना नहीं बना ऐसा
नहीं
जितना
नहीं
इस
नहीं,
बंदे के लिए बन गया।
तो वो तो
It's unbelievable। राइवल फैंस गा
बोरियत
रहे थे
अपनी
पूरे वीक
एज अ
में।
प्लेयर। हाँ हाँ, ये क्या किक ऑफ वगैरह पे ये लोग कर रहे थे ना, ऑल इज एट द व्हील, एट द व्हील, ऑल इज एट द व्हील। चलो लेट्स सी,
बस
द
आगे आगे
फ्रस्ट्रेशन
की
ऑफ
बस
बली
आखिरी बात ये आगे।
सीम्स palpable
आई
at the moment।
आई होप कि हम आगे जाके कभी भी किसी लेजेंड को ना अपना मैनेजर बनाए, कभी भी नहीं।
नहीं
और बस
ऐसा
एक
नहीं है,
मैनेजर बनाए ताकि ताकि एक
ऐसा नहीं है,
अनबायस्ड सबका ओपिनियन हो।
नहीं ऐसा
दैट्स
नहीं
व्हाट
है,
आई फील।
मैनेजर ही है वो, ऐसा नहीं है। अब अगर इफ ही
नहीं लेकिन मतलब
if he
you
turns
might
around
see
and
you're
wins it,
you're see you might be unbiased but there are still plenty of people out there who are actually singing all is at the wheel। वो अंधे हो चुके हैं, मतलब उनको दिखता ही नहीं कुछ। अगर ये
it's not about being
सी
blind, it's about
भाई,
being a
लेकिन
supporter
तुम्हें भी
and
पता है
creating
by
an
the way,
environment which,
if
तेरे
this
को
was
पता है क्या,
Mourinho,
देख,
he would have
keep
been
your
gone।
personal, keep your personal joys apart from the team। ये टीम बहुत टाइम स्ट्रगल करी है, और जो फैंस हैं वो बहुत पुराने पुराने फैंस भी हैं, who have watched this team before
But
the,
if
when
this was
we were born।
Mourinho, they would have been calling for his head।
तो
सीधी बात है।
मोरिनियो अलग था ना, तो मोरिनियो अलग था, मोरिनियो के पास तो भाई, मोरिनियो के साथ इशू यही, अगर मोरिनियो टॉक्सिक कल्चर प्रमोट करता और
चलो
उसके बाद
अच्छा, मोरिनो को
रिजल्ट
छोड़,
आ रहा होता।
डेविड मॉयस को भी फेंक दिया उन्होंने 6 महीने के
यार
अंदर।
सातवीं पोजीशन,
हैं?
अगर सातवां ओले फिनिश करेगा उसके गला काट देंगे लोग।
तो फिनिश किया भी नहीं था उसने, उसका आधे सीजन में निकाल दिया था।
अबे सातवीं पोजीशन पे, वो तो इतना बड़ी
गिग्स
मुश्किल,
को
आधे सीजन में नहीं करा। आधे सीजन में लास्ट के कुछ गेम्स बचे थे, फट चुकी थी तब तक हो चुका था
इनको
कि
भाई
लग
देखो,
जाएगा।
इस बोर्ड को बस फर्क नहीं पड़ता, जब तक टॉप 4 करते रहेंगे दे वुडंट गिव अ
अबे
शिट।
वो तो ग्लेजर्स को तो वो इशू है ही, लेकिन अब नहीं है वो शायद, बिकॉज दे हैव इन्वेस्टेड क्वाइट हेवीली इन द पास्ट 2 इयर्स, तो उनको अब तो
आई डोंट
ट्रॉफी
नो,
सक्सेस चाहिए। अब तो सक्सेस उनको सस्टेन करने के लिए सक्सेस चाहिए भाई। they'll
आई डोंट नो, आई एम अ
they'll
ब्रोकन मैन।
with a win that shows how big of a fan he is of the club। बाकी
एक
लेट्स सी
गंजा
हाउ थिंग्स
जिडान
गो।
या टेन हैग में से
अभी
कोई गंजा आ जाए भाई।
टेनहाग आया
जिडान या
तो मेरे को
टेन
कोई
हैग।
दिक्कत नहीं है। जिडान भी यार, जिडान के लायक नहीं है ये प्लेयर। ये लोग पागल हो जाएंगे भाई, जब वो बेल के अगेंस्ट जा सकता है ना,
अच्छा,
शॉ से, तो वो
जिडान
पागल
के
हो
बारे
जाएंगे।
में एक माइंड नंबिंग स्टैट पढ़ा था मैंने
क्या
कि जिडान वन हिज 8th ट्रॉफी बिफोर हिज 7th डिफीट फॉर रियल मैड्रिड।
8 ट्रॉफी, अब उसमें वो भी है यार, यूएफा कप वगैरह वो सब। हाँ
तो क्या हुआ? इट्स इनसेन,
हाँ
8th ट्रॉफी बिफोर हिज 7th डिफीट, दैट्स एक्चुअली इनसेन, चाहे कुछ भी हो।
हाँ हाँ, दैट्स इनसेन, बट तू अबे यार स्टैट्स पे मत देख, अगर तू जाके उस टाइम का फुटबॉल देखेगा ना रियल मैड्रिड का, बारिंग द चैंपियंस लीग, और एक सीजन, वो सेकंड सीजन जो था उसमें ला लीगा अच्छा खेले वो, उसके अलावा लीग में वो हर समय स्ट्रगल किए, वो तो अब ग्लोरीफाई हो जाता। हाँ उसने बहुत बढ़िया टीम मैनेज करी, वो नहीं था उसी टीम, क्योंकि वो थी भी भाई, उसमें रोनाल्डो, बेल, बेंजेमा खेल रहे हैं, और बेंच पे मोराटा बैठा हुआ है, असेंसियो बेंच पे बैठा हुआ है। उस टीम में ये सब प्लेयर्स थे जो स्ट्रगल कर रहे थे टीम में जगह बनाने के लिए, तो वो टीम बहुत अमेजिंग थी, और उसने मैनेज भी बहुत अच्छी की उस में। लेकिन जिदान इज मोर ऑफ अ चैंपियंस लीग और
तो
नॉकआउट स्टेज,
हमारी भी तो टीम
नॉकआउट।
अमेजिंग है यार। अब
अबे तो अब फिर जब इतनी जल्दी फैंस टर्न करेंगे ना उसके ऊपर, जो सेम सेम गाइस, जब वो लीग में परफॉर्म नहीं कर रहा होगा कि थर्ड फोर्थ, तू उसका लीग गेम में देखियो, लगातार स्ट्रगल करता था वो तो ला लीगा है, कोई देखता नहीं है, इसलिए फर्क नहीं पड़ता, क्योंकि चैंपियंस लीग में तो फोड़ दे रहा है वो। ला
अच्छा,
लीगा कोई
तुम्हारी
देख नहीं रहा है।
प्रेफरेंस क्या थी वैसे? तेरी प्रेफरेंस
क्या
क्या थी मतलब आफ्टर सोल्शर, अगर
सोल्स
कभी हुआ इस दुनिया में, दुनिया खत्म होने से पहले अगर सोल्शर कभी
का।
सैक हुआ तो कौन अगला मैनेजर बन सकता है?
अगला मैनेजर, आई लाइक टेन हैग। टेन हैग से कोई दिक्कत नहीं है मुझे। टेन हैग इज एक्चुअली समवन हु आई थिंक, और टेन हैग आएगा तो बीक वगैरह के लिए भी अच्छा है,
डॉनी
लाइक
वैन डी वी
हाँ बीक के लिए
वो
अच्छा है अगर आता है तो। उस बेचारे
अगर
का तो
रहा।
करियर ही बर्बाद हो गया है। नहीं नहीं रहेगा वो। आई डोंट थिंक उसको ऐसे जाने देंगे, बिकॉज दिस मेक्स नो सेंस। 35 मिलियन का प्लेयर तुमने खरीदा हुआ है, उसको तुम अगर अभी 20 मिलियन का भी नहीं बेच पाओगे तो व्हाट्स द पॉइंट?
और
एक साल हुआ है
दूसरी बात यार, तुम इतने टाइम
उसको,
से
ये
देख रहे हो
भेजेंगे। मैं
हैरी
बता रहा हूँ
मैगवायर।
तेरे को, अगर अगर उसको 2 महीने में अब चांस नहीं मिला, और जो कि नहीं मिलेगा मुझे लगता है, ठीक है, उसको उसके बाद करके ये लोग जनवरी में भेजेंगे उसे लोन पे। ठीक है, उसे बोलेंगे 6 महीने तू कमा नाम, उसके बाद आ वापस, क्योंकि पॉल पॉगबा जाने वाला है, बोलेंगे देख
हम्म।
वैकेंसी तो तेरे लिए खाली पड़ी है सामने, और अब क्लियर कट हो जाएगी इतनी आपस में। ओले का मेरे को ये अच्छा लगता है, वो मीडिया में कुछ भी बकवास करता है, उसका प्लेयर से बाकी अंदर अंदर में ठीक रहता है। वो मीडिया को तो चूतिया बनाता रहता है कि यहाँ पे हाँ कि ये बहुत बढ़िया प्लेयर है, यंग इज आर नेक्स्ट प्लेयर जिसको हम
आई
लेफ्ट
डोंट
बैक
नो
पे देख रहे हैं, और फिर बेच
यार।
देगा उसको जाके।
ये दूसरी बात मुझे ये समझ नहीं आती, तो प्लेयर जो फॉर्म में नहीं है, फॉर एग्जांपल हैरी मैगवायर कब से फॉर्म में नहीं है,
नहीं
लूक
वो
शॉ
तो बहुत
फॉर्म
बड़ा
में नहीं है
इशू है,
भाई।
नहीं वो तो इशू है, वो तो इशू है
टेलिस
बहुत ज्यादा।
टेलिस ने वंडर गोल स्कोर किया, उसके बाद खिलाया नहीं उस मैच के बाद, उसमें विला रियल के बाद। मतलब यू हैव
वो
टू
तो
गिव
इशू
देम
है।
अपॉर्चुनिटीज, यू हैव टू रोटेट।
वो वो तो इशू है कि मतलब मैगवायर से जैसे अपने प्रेफर्ड प्लेयर्स को इतना लगाव अच्छी बात नहीं है, क्योंकि फिर बाकी प्लेयर्स रेबल कर जाएंगे, स्पेशली बाई बाई बहुत
एग्जैक्टली।
सही बोल रहा है, वो गलत थोड़ी बोल रहा है कि I should be given a chance. Why is
डेफिनेटली।
Maguire being pursued with? So let's see how things go. अभी अटलांटा गेम के बाद काफी चीजें और क्लियर होंगी। अभी तो वी आर कमिंग ऑफ द बैक ऑफ अ विन, तो क्वेश्चंस थोड़े वो हो जाते हैं सबड्यू। सो लेट्स सी अटलांटा, और क्योंकि सिटी गेम काफी क्रूशियल होने वाला है। जब अटलांटा गेम होगा देन विल टॉक अबाउट सिटी एज वेल। सो अभी के लिए इतना ही। We'll see you guys again really soon. And till then, it's bye bye from me and Wally. See you guys soon. Take care.
ऑल इज
Good
एट द
night.
wheel.
Always at the wheel.